can shoot the three, get to the rim, he finishes, he boards with the assist, he blocks shots, he does it all, and he woke up this morning and said, I get to play and I don't have to sit anymore.
Well, after a month of practice, they are finally ready to tip it off here on the Flatirons. The Buffs and the Hornets coming up in Colorado.
Now, you guys got to go out and play hard, play smart, and play together. Let it all hang out. Don't overthink the game. Now, you guys got to go out and play hard, play smart, and play together. Let it all hang out. Don't overthink the game. Play the game. You know what we're supposed to do. Do your job and go have fun. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Yo, it's on 3. 1, 2.
Yep, check 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you bring mine up a little bit?
Now, you guys got to go out and play hard, play smart, and play together. Let it all hang out. Don't overthink the game. Play the game. You know what we're supposed to do. Do your job and go have fun. Let's go.
Colorado head coach Tad Boyle sending his team out for the season opener on Full Court Friday. This one of 8 games on the Pac-12 networks here tonight. And time now for the starting lineups. First, for Colorado, they return 4 of 5 starters from last year's squad. The only player in the starting lineup tonight who was not a regular starter last year, Josh Fortune, for this Buffalo lineup. As we now take a look at Sacramento State and their starting 5. Travis Jackson, the only non-starter who gets the first start here tonight in the opening game. This is Travis Jackson's 55th career game, but making his first ever start, the senior from Santa Monica, California.
And I love the message from Coach Boyle. Get out there and have fun. They have been so technical in their approach of what they want defensively, offensively, but don't overthink it. You know what you need to do. We've prepared you. Just go out there and play.
Colorado 22-17 a year ago. This is the 7th season for head coach Tad Boyle here in Boulder. A native of Greeley, Colorado. Spent 4 years at Northern Colorado and has the 2nd best winning percentage in school history now here for the Buffaloes. Sacramento State in the green, Colorado the white, as the college basketball season commences on a chilly Friday night in Boulder. Only the 2nd ever meeting between these schools. The other was 22 years ago, also here in Colorado, in a game the Buffaloes won by 24 points.
It's an experienced Sacramento State team. They know who they are, what they want to accomplish.
And that is Fortune getting the offensive rebound. But an empty trip in the opening trip for Sacramento State. And now the Buffaloes in the front court for the first time. Offense should not be a problem for this high-powered, very potent attack for Colorado this season. And the first 3 ball goes down for Derek White.
Is he excited to be on this floor on this night after sitting out for an entire year? He was just jumping like a 5-year-old at Christmas this morning at shoot-around.
Senior from Parker, Colorado, head coach Tad Boyle says he can do just about everything. Such a complete player and has had the best few weeks of practice of any player on the team so far leading up to this season opener. And there's the first field goal for Sacramento State, belonging to Nick Hornsby, the senior from Irvine, California.
And you could see the experience on that move. Multiple head fakes, keep that pivot foot, go strong to the bucket.
Now down low, and the easy lay-in for Xavier Johnson.
Colorado's a team that's going to spread the floor, equal opportunity offense. Everybody has a great game, whether it's going to the rim, posting up, putting it on the floor, shooting threes.
Scoring and rebounding should really be the hallmarks of this Colorado team all season long, as Hornsby misses on the fadeaway. The one question for Colorado coming into the season, defense.
Defense and maybe turnovers. Turnovers a real issue a year ago.
There's an offensive rebound after a scramble taken back up. 4 players converging underneath the basket, and it's going to be Jabizi Jacobs, the freshman, who came away with it. Working quickly down floor, the block underneath by Wesley Gordon.
6'9", up to 243, the fifth-year senior. We talked about that in the open. Great experience. What a beautiful job with the body control, straight up and down.
And Marcus Graves miss it on the 3. But Sacramento State going to get another crack at it. Studeville backing in down low, off glass, but won't fall.
Nice job of playing defense without fouling down low.
And a whistle before the shot that time. And we're going to get an infraction here. That's going to be Travis Jackson, his first personal.
Last couple days, Josh Fortune has looked great in practice. 6'5", 200 pounds, a senior. Another fifth-year senior for Colorado.
Buffaloes with a 3-point lead, 5-2. 2.5 minutes into the first half of the season opener in Boulder at the Coors Event Center. And a whistle and another foul against the Hornets.
What you see there is just how well Derek White moves without the basketball. Multiple moves coming off the down screen, then you just curl, just non-stop movement. Very difficult to defend.
And that is quickly 2 personal fouls on Travis Jackson. And so now our first substitution, as Jeff Wu is going to clock into the game for the Hornets, and Jackson will take a seat. Wu, the sophomore from Taiwan. Off the inbound. Using a lot of the clock.
Yeah, being very patient, not in a hurry. The moving screen.
And so that's going to be Josh Fortune, senior from Hampton, Virginia, who's going to pick up the foul.
And you just have to wait for that screen to be set before you start trying to use that screen.
But you're right, we did see some patience for the first time with the Colorado half-court look. Kind of a frantic start by both teams early on. And that was Jacobs getting his own rebound after it was partially blocked, fighting for it and drawing the foul on the Buffaloes.
It's a ball on the floor. The challenge. And the foul. We're going back to that offensive possession. Not only is it great to see that movement, the ball, the floor spread, is it makes the defense have to work. And by the time you're wearing down in the second half, that kind of movement, trying to make the defense work, can really wear a team out.
Jabizi Jacobs at the free throw line. Played all 5 positions in high school, was all over the floor. Also just a terrific all-around athlete, football, track and field. His brother, as a matter of fact, right now playing football at Wisconsin in the Big Ten.
They're having a pretty good season.
5-3, the lead for the Buffaloes. Just over 3 minutes gone by first half.
Colorado, a team that can invert. Your post can come out and shoot. Your guards can go down and post up. Your wings, dynamite down there as well.
Wesley Gordon maneuvering into the lane. Back iron, gets the rebound, off glass, and the foul on Sacramento State.
One of the best offensive rebounders in the Pac-12. You miss a shot, he just knows how to go and get it. A tough man to box out and gives you multiple shots at the bucket.
Jeff Wu, his first personal foul, and Wesley Gordon knocks down the free throw. The senior from Colorado Springs, leading returning rebounder from last season's team, was out for about 10 days prior to the start of the season with an ankle sprain, but he's getting better, almost 100% as we open things up here tonight. And the deep three there, their first triple of the game, going to Justin Strings, leading returning scorer from last year's squad.
Steve, he's one of those guys you have to find wherever he is in transition, in a set, a 40% three-point shooter a year ago.
But even with that, Sacramento State just 2 of 9 to start from the field. Meantime, Colorado on the other end, a little more success from the field here in the opening 5 minutes.
And you have to be impressed with how many different people have touched the ball and scored for Colorado.
They have the 2-point lead. Shot clock now in single digits. There's Marcus Graves galloping into the lane, then the fadeaway, and the rebound to Gordon.
Nice job by White. Just keep him in front of you. Don't let him turn the corner.
And White going hard to the hole, and it's going to be a foul on the floor against the Hornets. So just shy of 5 minutes deep, first half. The Buffaloes leading throughout so far in the margin 2 right now, early on. This Pac-12 men's basketball game is brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. With great beer comes great responsibility. And by Black Bear Diner, good old-fashioned family food. You're tuned in to Full Court Friday on Pac-12 Mountain. In addition to a full night of basketball, on this Veterans Day, Pac-12 Networks would like to take a moment to tip our caps and express our gratitude to those who have and are currently serving in our country's armed forces. Several military members and family members of those in the military here in attendance tonight at the Coors Event Center, just shy of 8,000 altogether on this first Friday of the regular season. Colorado leading by 2, 15-20 left to go here in the first half.
4 different Buffs have already scored.
And it's a turnover. The Buffaloes last year plagued by turnovers, and it's been one of the primary focuses of the preseason. Cutting down on the mistakes, taking care of the basketball, valuing possessions, and especially in the second half, where they let a lot of second half leads slip away last season.
That's exactly right. Some very winnable games, some very important games.
Studeville.
Torrey Miller into the game for Colorado.
Studeville down the lane, a little too strong, however. And the rebound to George King. Thomas Akayazili was leading the break. The ball movement by the Buffaloes as they come into the front court. Now King for Akiyazili. Second three-point basket of the first half. That one to Dominic Collier, the junior from right down the road in Denver.
6'2" junior. Has had some foot issues. Started 33 games last year. He's going to be a very valuable member of this team in the backcourt. Nice pass.
Studeville again down low, but it's blocked. Using that big frame, though, to go back up and score, but a huge block by Tory Miller. 6'9", 242, the junior from Kansas City, Kansas.
Making his presence felt inside. Full court pressure by Sacramento State. Colorado worked on this a lot yesterday.
And the Buffaloes now extending their lead to 5 points. 14 minutes left to go in the opening frame. Collier along the baseline, poked out. And it's going to be last touch by Collier, so the ball over to the Hornets.
Lucas Seward into the lineup for Colorado. A freshman, 6'10". You are going to love this guy. Beautiful pick and pop, can knock down the three, a stretch four.
Marcus Graves on the miss. Akiyazili ahead to Collier. Colorado already with 4 turnovers. Don't have to worry about it that time. Akiyazili going hard and laying it in.
You have to be impressed with the spacing, the equal opportunity offense. Recognize your opportunity and grab it.
Colorado on a 7-0 run. First basket for Akiyazili, the sophomore from Antwerp, Belgium.
Great job going up and over the top by Jacobs.
Under 13 now left to go in the first half of play. The lead is 7 for Colorado here on their home floor. And that's going to be an offensive foul against the Hornets. Foul away from the basketball here. And that's on Josh Patton, a freshman from California. His first personal.
Colorado had 2 scrimmages in the preseason at SMU, and they hosted Oklahoma State. And one of the recurring issues was a whole lot of fouls. They've done a great job so far keeping the hands off and moving the feet on the defensive end.
And Sacramento State taking their first timeout. 12:48 left to go in the first half of play. And let's take a look at tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Now Colorado with an impressive record when doing the following: holding opponents to under 40% shooting and winning the rebound margin by 8 or more. Now, to be fair, most teams that do that are going to win, but still very impressive. 40 wins to only 2 losses.
And Coach Boyle will call those the pillars of his program: defense and rebounding. We do those 2 things with the kind of offensive firepower that this squad has. He really feels like this could be a very special season.
Tad Boyle saying that he just doesn't want to out-rebound his opponent. He's not satisfied with winning on the leisure. He wants to significantly out-rebound them. Akiyazili again going inside, kicking it out for the 3, and Fortune buries it.
Have to be impressed with the unselfishness of this team.
Sacramento State there quickly working it down the floor. Patton the miss underneath. Another 3, this time off glass and in from Tory Miller. And Colorado now 7 of 10 from beyond the arc here in this first half of play, and we're not halfway through the first half.
And that would be Tory Miller's first 3-pointer of his career. He was 0 for 4 last year, did not take one his freshman year.
12-0 run for the Buffaloes. And then a foul from behind on Akiyazili. Ubauja going up, and Akiyazili picking up his first. So Colorado on fire from beyond the arc. They led the Pac-12 conference in 3-point percentage a year ago, picking up where they left off, just drilling it from deep and leading 19-6 with just under 12 to play first half. Colorado with their largest lead of this first half, 13 points. 8 different players have scored so far in this first half. Pretty good start for the Buffaloes on opening night.
Outstanding. They're playing terrific defense. 9 people have played, 8 have scored. And what that message is, 5 assists on 7 buckets, is spread the floor. You're going to get your chance. You're open, you knock down shots, you're going to just continue to feed the ball to hot people. It's an exciting offensive start for Colorado.
Jide Ubaja, the junior, who played his prep ball in San Francisco here at the free throw line, originally from Nigeria.
A little soft pressure.
Now the shot clock into single digits for the Buffaloes.
Zone defense by Sacramento State.
In and out. Seward. Now Jacobs going all the way inside, lost the ball. And it stays with the Hornets.
Really nice job by Torrey Miller just to continue to retreat as the ball is coming at you. If you don't have time to get your feet set, just move with it. Nice job keeping your hands up.
Substitutions for each team here. Coming up on 11 minutes left to go in the first half of play. And the Hornets in a hole.
Another freshman on the floor for Colorado.
Now Marcus Graves losing his balance, regaining control. Now Hornsby leaning. And Sacramento State cold from the field here in this first half. Just 2 of 16 now from the floor. And that's a turnover as Xavier Johnson took steps for the Buffaloes.
The point of emphasis this year, resetting the feet. You saw it there, and that's a travel. They really want the officials to keep an eye on your pivot foot and whether you're doing that little jump trying to get into your shot in rhythm.
Now Sacramento State just 12.5% shooting from the field, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. They've gotten some shots in tight, they're just not making anything. Jacobs on the miss, and the rebound to Colorado.
And the push.
And White going all the way hard inside and picking up the foul on the Hornets.
Their nice job coming down on that left side. You could see his right arm just kind of initiate into some contact and handle it and still get the ball up, try to get the old-fashioned three-point play.
Follow Nick Hornsby, and it's Derek White at the free throw line. Division II All-American, again transferred from the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. Still has the school record for career points and assists at that Division II program.
It's a great story. Coming out of high school, he was 6'1", 165 pounds. No attention from D1, very casual attention from D2. And I love his comment. I probably wouldn't have recruited me either coming out of high school.
Now 6'5", and so good without the ball. And that's one of the things his head coach Tad Boyle talked about, the fact that he creates for others. He's not just a good scorer, as we've seen by his Division II career, but he makes others around him better.
1-2-2 pressure, mixing it up defensively.
Halfway through this first half of play, and the three won't fall for Grant Dressler, a freshman just into the basketball game for the Hornets. Perimeter ball movement for Colorado, and they get another three, that time at the hands of Dillion Brown, the freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Played a prep year. You're going to love this guy. Gets to the rim, takes what the defense gives him, has long distance on that three-point shot, and an outstanding defender.
Nice action by Marcus Graves on the other end, getting the basket for the Hornets, and now a turnover by the Buffaloes. They're fifth so far.
One of the issues a year ago, getting in traffic and turning it over. You have to make the decision earlier.
Now the Hornets searching for a way back into this first half. We were tied at 6, and then the Buffaloes went on an 18-1 run, and they have not looked back. Hornets have not shot the ball well from the field, but they've made their last 2 field goal attempts now as Nick Hornsby connects. He's got 4 on the game. Drop under 9 to go in the first half. Still a sizable advantage for the Buffaloes here on their home floor, where they were very good a year ago. And that's going to be a foul on Delion Brown, going hard inside that time. And he'll head to the free throw line.
And you're not kidding when you said good at home. 16-1. Move without the basketball. Great job of delivering it, Derek White.
Not only 16-1 here at home last year, but they've won 8 straight home openers. So always ready to play here at the Coors Event Center when the new campaign begins. As Brown takes his place at the free throw line and buries it.
The other freshman guard, Bryce Peters, suspended for the first 2 games, a 6'4" freshman out of California. He's going to be dynamite as well. This is a team that's going to have an 11-man rotation if things just continue the way they look.
Many are saying that this is Tad Boyle's most talented team that he has had in his 7 years here in Boulder. They have balance, they have depth, they have experience, they have just about all the ingredients you want. Brown gets them both. What do you see as their big challenge in the first few months of the season?
There's a lot of moving parts. There's young players that have to get up to speed with what a Coach Boyle's style is. But I think what they've started early, move without the basketball. If you're open, you're going to get the ball. Not one person trying to take over a game. A great team start so far to this game in the season.
Studeville spinning and blocked. Wesley Gordon at 6'9" was there in his face. Studeville has had a few blocked here in this first half. King trying to knock down the 3 on the other end. Ball kicked around. King comes away. Good scramble by the Buffaloes. Derek White dishing off. King can't get the basket, but he does have 2 free throws coming up.
And you can't say enough about what that pass does for everybody else. You could take that shot, instead you give it up. So to everybody else, the message is, I'm going to give it up too. And you have a whole team that starts being very unselfish on the floor. And
a timeout taken by Sacramento State. George King set to go to the free throw line to try and extend this Colorado lead, 26-11. Right now, the Buffaloes on top. It's Full Court Friday on the Pac-12 Network. This one of 8 games going on tonight in the Pac-12 and on the network. Colorado leading Sacramento State here in Boulder 26-11. And the Utah Office of Tourism presents Life Elevated. And the Buffaloes are elevating here in this first half of play.
3 block shots already from 3 different players. Sending a statement. Don't bring it in here.
And balanced scoring from this Colorado team. 13 points from the starters, 13 from the bench to this point. Sacramento State as a team just 11 points over halfway through this first half. King on the miss and the rebound to Studeville.
9 players have scored already for Colorado. 10 have played.
8 minutes left to go here in the first half. Commanding lead for the Buffaloes here at the Coors Event Center on opening night.
Challenging every shot.
Justin Strings could not get it to fall. He's had a tough evening so far. Gordon left open just inside the arc. And the rebound to Hornsby, the leading returning rebounder from last season's Hornet squad.
Graves just 2 points. 1 of 5 shooting, 0 for 2 from three-point range. For Sacramento State to be successful, he has got to put big numbers up.
This is a Hornet team that returned 76% of their offense from last year. Most of their starters, so kind of surprising. They've struggled this way as Graves misses on a deep 3 with the shot clock winding down, and they just can't buy one right now.
Well, a year ago, they beat Arizona State to open the season down in Tempe, and that message was just drilled in the heads of the Buffaloes in the last couple days.
There's Jeff Wu stroking a 3 and again missing. Trying it inside, outside, nothing falling for the Hornets here on the road. And that's blocked by Hornsby and out of bounds and stays with the Buffaloes with substitutions coming up for both sides and just about 6 minutes left to go in the first half. 6:39 showing on the clock.
It's been like lane shifts or in hockey, and it's one of the things that Coach Boyle talked about in practice. And it's one of those lines he's been drumming in their heads. Don't count time. Make your time count. When you're on the floor, just hustle and make things happen.
Collier inside to Gordon. Akayazili wide open, but misses the 3, and Hornsby is there underneath. Colorado now somewhat cold. They've missed their last 5 shots from the field. Hornsby on the other end. And after the rebound, he buries it from the top of the arc. And he's got half a dozen points. Leading the Sacramento State team in scoring.
See Collier and Akazili play together tonight.
King, high arching 3 that drops home.
You can't be surprised when a 3 goes down. A year ago, the best three-point shooter in the Pac-12 conference. That is saying something.
Now 6 points here in this first half for George King, the junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Wu. 2 misses in a row for Jeff Wu. 6th man last year as a true freshman on this Sacramento State team. And now a whistle against the Hornets down low.
George King comes back. Big part of this offense. Comes off that screen, ready to fire, and fire he does.
So the foul on Nick Hornsby, his first, and Colorado in the bonus the rest of the way. 5.5 to go in the first half of play. And Miller missing on the front end.
An outstanding defense by George King, keeping your hands off, forced the U-turn by Graves.
And then Hornsby on the steps, traveling violation. 3rd turnover by the Hornets in the first half. And Colorado really running away, helped in large part by the lack of shooting by Sacramento State. Just 5 of 26. That's under 20% here for this first frame.
They have not had many just wide open shots where they could really relax and shoot it.
As Collier connects on the 3 for the Buffaloes, he's got 6 points.
One of the articles I was reading questioned, can Colorado shoot the ball from three-point range as well as they did a year ago? I think you have your answer already. Maybe better.
Now they led the Pac-12 in made three-pointers as well as three-point percentage, shooting almost 40% from beyond the arc last year in conference play. Now Brian Katz, head coach for Sacramento State, in his 9th year, a native of Sacramento, graduate of Sacramento State, so he's coaching at his alma mater. Big Sky co-coach of the year in the conference in 2015, and he was also a mid-major coach of the year that same season as well. And Miller tried to tip in the miss from Johnson, and the Hornets now running.
Excellent job in transition defense. Coach Boyle's
Jacobs.
Boyle's going to be happy with that rotation and then the recovery back out.
Graves. Now Fortune running, knocked away by Graves, and it's going to be last touch by the Buffaloes as Fortune knocked it out, and it goes back to the Hornets.
Coach Boyle way out of that coaching box, and he sprinted back, did a couple defensive slides to get himself back in it.
Now, as a coach, you got to pace yourself. It's a long season for them as well as the players. So how much do you really want to get up, get animated, all the histrionics? Sometimes you got to save that for later on down the line. So maybe just a mild protest here in the first half of the season.
I was worried about him pulling a muscle or something. He was moving quick back.
A 20-point Buffalo lead coming up on the final 4 in the first half. Justin Strings tied up. And it looks like a foul on Collier here. That'll be his first personal foul on the game. Sacramento State still not in the bonus here with just under 4 left to play in the first half. It's all Buffaloes, 33-13. Now, Josh Scott was the Colorado Buffaloes' leading scorer and rebounder a year ago. Led them in so many ways. They played through him all the time on offense. These are the numbers this Buffalo team is trying to replace coming into this season.
And we've heard so much about replacing him. How are we going to do it? Where are we getting those points? Where are we getting those rebounds? But you look at the production from everybody. It's not going to come from one person. This is a team built to be a team. There is no eye in this squad. Up and down the lineup, up and down the bench.
So far so good, a 20-point lead, and then Justin Strings drawing the foul after missing the shot, getting the rebound, and now a pair of free throws coming up.
I think the shocking thing when you look at 33 points, the leading scorers for Colorado, 2 players. They each have 5 points. 9 folks have scored. They're shooting 5 of 7 from three-point range, 71% and 62% from the floor.
So Strings at the free throw line where he misses on the first. Now be sure to stay with us at halftime when we'll check in with the Pac-12 Network studios for the State Farm Halftime Report. Highlights of number 12 Michigan against number 10 Arizona. One of the best matchups on the opening night of games around the country. Montana State up against Washington State as well. We'll have it all for you coming up at the half, 3:47 away.
I think Mike Yam's on his 5th cup of coffee already.
Going to take a lot more. Long night, a lot of games, and that's a foul on Yakazili for Colorado.
These 3 minutes and 42 seconds before halftime, important for Colorado. You want to keep the pedal to the metal. You don't want to leave a crack in the door, crack in the window, and let Sacramento State get back in it. Go on a 6-0, an 8-2, a 10-4 run. You want to keep it right where it is or accelerate even more.
Yakazili is out with 3 personal fouls for Colorado. And Sacramento State looking for some kind of momentum to take with them to the locker room at the break. In a sense that they can get back in this game. There's a path to make it competitive. Foul away from the basketball here, and it will be against Colorado.
I'm going to call that on Torrey Miller down low.
And it'll be his first personal.
The officials really trying to clean it up in the post, and you can see Torrey Miller trying to discuss with the official. Can't have a swim stroke, you can't displace. The science of post defense.
So Eric Studeville now at the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus here the rest of the way. Colorado the double bonus, and Studeville on the miss. Senior from Orangevale, California, has played every game of his college career. Starting once again on opening night here this evening in Boulder. Miller backing in on Studeville. A little hook, a little off, and Hornsby once again the rebound. Top rebounder on this team a year ago and so far tonight as well. And he's also pacing at Sacramento State in scoring, 3 of 7 from the field for 6 points. The rest of the team just a total of 8 points, 2 of 21.
Nice rotation on the switch.
And no second chance opportunity for the Hornets there as we go under 3 to play in the first half. Collier wide open for a 3. It's usually been a lockdown shot for Colorado here in this first half of play, but a miss. And now Dressler on the other end for the Hornets. Hits in the lane. Grant Dressler, his first basket of the game. A freshman from Las Vegas. Played 19 games as a true freshman a year ago. But Colorado still a very healthy lead here as they get it down low to Johnson. The basket and 1. Now for Xavier Johnson.
Outstanding recognition by Collier. Keeping your head up, be strong with the ball, wait for the opening inside, and a beautiful job, nice hang time, and the finish. One more time. Beautiful head fake, draw the contact. Again, moving without the basketball.
Now missed all of last year with that Achilles tear in his left leg. Led the team in field goal percentage as a freshman, but has been tremendous in practice. One of the biggest leaders on this team. And a foul on the free throw. And it's going to go against the Buffaloes.
Xavier Johnson wore number 2 for his first 3 years. He has switched to number 11 to honor Mater Dei High School in Los Angeles. The number was passed down from Max Hooper. And his dad, Max's dad's been sick, so he says he's given back to Mater Dei, Max, and Max's dad.
And Johnson with 4 points on the night, now just 6 points shy of 1,000 for his career. Once he crosses that threshold, he'll be the 33rd player in Colorado history to get 1,000 for his career, as Nick Hornsby misses at the free throw line for the Hornets. And the story for Colorado, after building this big lead, they've kind of dried up from the field. They started 8 of 11, but just 3 of 13 since. Under 2 to play, first half. Collier spinning, tossing it up, and Hornsby once again there to clear the glass underneath for Sacramento State. Taking it all the way inside, Jacobs, and an offensive foul.
Been impressed so far with the freshman. Brown has been impressive. Sprint back, get yourself set. You're not in the restricted area, and challenge. Coach Boyle's going to love that. You're going to see that a couple times in film. For a coach that loves defense, that's a highlight.
Well, if you're Ted Boyle, a lot to like here in the first half of the season so far. What do you think the message will be in the locker room? Obviously, it'll be a positive one, but coaches always have a few little nitpicks to go over.
I just think keep it up.
Xavier Johnson on the turnaround, Dressler the rebound for Sacramento State. And now Strings. And the foul with the three-point opportunity coming up for Strings, who now has 7 points.
And you can see White not set, as opposed to Brown on the last play, who was set. He's moving, sliding from right to left, trying to get there, but doesn't quite make it.
Justin Strings, honorable mention, All Big Sky a season ago. Junior from Carson, California. Averaged 16 points, 7 boards in his sophomore campaign. Led the team in scoring and is really their best player, their top offensive threat coming into this season. But like the rest of his teammates, has struggled here in the opening half.
Well, he unleashed that three-pointer in the early going, trailing on that left side. They have not let him be open much at all most of this first half. Half-court pressure. Back into man-to-man.
Fortune finding an opening down the lane, the baskets, and the foul.
Great move, strong move. And when you come to practice and you go to shoot around, all of these Colorado players have really put in the time in the offseason, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting healthier.
Now Josh Patton, his second personal for the Hornets, and Josh Fortune at the free throw line completes the three-point play. Was third on the team in scoring a season ago. Averaged in double figures last year in his junior campaign. As we have just under a minute left to go now in the first half. One dominated by the Buffs here on opening night. Strings strokes the three.
Tough shot.
Hornsby, rare second opportunity on the offensive end for the Hornets. Won't get a third. Half a minute now to go. White finds the open man, and it's laid up and in by Wesley Gordon.
Beautiful timing. Here comes the help. Little dish inside.
And just about a second difference, shot clock to game clock. And make sure you stay with us at halftime when we'll check in with the Pac-12 Network studios for the State Farm halftime reports. Blocked again. As Colorado looks to build on their biggest lead of the first half at the buzzer. White tossing it up and in. And the Buffs close out a dominating first half of the season with a huge lead on the Hornets of Sacramento State. 42-19 after one.
Welcome to Boulder, Derek White. What a half.
(42-19) Colorado with the second half about to begin here in Boulder. And the numbers from the first 20 minutes all slanted towards the Buffs, shooting almost 50% from the field, dominating from three-point range, and out-rebounding 29-21. Colorado did have 7 turnovers in the first half, and that might be something that Tad Boyle discussed in the locker room because it's a big focus for them going forward this season.
It is, and it's tough when you're playing 10, 11 players consistently in a game to get everybody on the same page. So there's going to be some turnovers, but what an impressive first half.
George King hitting on the first jump shot of this second half, and King now with 8 points. Again, 9 different players have scored for the Buffaloes, but nobody in double figures, yet they still have their largest lead of the game right now at a 25-point margin. Kept around, and this is Strings.
8 offensive rebounds in the first half by Sacramento State, and that might be one of the things that Coach Boyle discussed with his team. Let's have it be a one and done.
Jeff Wu, long, deep three, popping in and out. But King lost it out of bounds, and it stays with the Hornets. Now King leading all scores with 8 points, but White, Fortune, Collier, and Brown right there on his heels. Nick Hornsby leading Sacramento State in scoring, and he hits his first jump shot of the second half.
Lost him on that inbounds play.
Only has missed 2 games in his entire career. The senior from Irvine, California. Also played volleyball back in high school. Terrific all-around athlete. Xavier Johnson getting position and takes it off glass to score. He's got half a dozen points.
I think it's one of the things Coach Boyle wants to see. You mess up on one end, you don't really cover the out-of-bounds play well. You come right back and take it right at your opponent.
Strings sizing up the 3, and it's an air ball. The second chance, Hornsby out to Wu, his 3, and he's 0 for on the night from deep. Jeff Wu has not made a 3. Now 0 for 4 from deep.
Last year a 34% three-point shooter, so he's reliable. He's had time on some of them.
Graves. More patience this time from the Hornet offense. Hornsby, though, coming up short on the long 3.
But really having to rely on jump shots.
Here's Fortune. Going in strong. Tipped out to Strings, and a 3-on-1. Numbers for the Hornets. And Graves lays it up and in. Marcus Graves, a junior from San Diego, now with 4 points. His dad coached in the NFL for 14 years, so has the athletic gene.
That'll toughen you up a bit.
I would say so. Strings here kicking it out, and they'll recycle the half-court offense. The Sacramento State team only 4-37 all-time versus Pac-12 schools, but one of those wins, as Graves misses here and gets his own rebound, one of those wins was last year in their opener at Arizona State, as Jeff Wu finally connects from 3-point range. He's been trying, and now gets his first field goal of the evening.
A shooter's got to shoot, and a nice job of Wu just to stay with it. His team counts on him to take and make open threes.
And Fortune with a 3 answering on the other end for Colorado.
Josh's mom, Army Colonel Angela Fortune, was here part of the ceremony at halftime. Army Colonel, that'll toughen you up a little bit too, huh?
Now Wu trying to change of pace as he goes inside and around the perimeter. They swing it down to Studeville on the blocks, and that's going to be an offensive foul. And that's 2 personals on Eric Studeville.
And it's a good call. Creates the contact. Lowers the shoulder and lowers the boom. And he's a guy that wants to get going as well. His team counts on him being an inside power presence.
As Derek White checks out, well, for Eric Studeville, speaking of sports in the family, his brother played here at Colorado while his mom played at Cal. So he has Pac-12 roots in the family. And there's a foul inside. Wesley Gordon handling the ball for the Buffaloes. And the foul on Marcus Graves of the Hornets, his second personal.
What I like about that play, challenge the double team, and he was going to reverse that basketball once he saw that double team.
King on the miss. And here comes Hornsby. Sacramento State finally over 20% in field goal percentage. They were under that mark for most of the first half of play. Now 4 minutes deep into the second half, still trailing by a wide margin, 49-26. It's starting to come to life, at least somewhat. Shot clock at single digits. Just in strings, looking for daylight, spinning in the paint and picking up the foul with 3 on the shot clock. Dominic Collier with the second.
Yeah, nice job of reversing back inside, just rolling off Collier and creating the contact and the foul.
Timeout on the floor, just under 16 minutes left to play in regulation. And the Buffaloes lead the Hornets 49-26. A 23-point lead for the Buffaloes over the Hornets here in Boulder. And now it's time to take a look at our Reese's Shoot for Two.
And a beautiful pass inside. Xavier Johnson, 38% three-point shooter, but he can go inside, get physical, and get it done as well. 6'7", the redshirt senior set out last year with the Achilles injury, and you see that smile? He's doing that all the time. He's a talker. He just absolutely ecstatic. That's the word he used yesterday after practice, to be playing and be back. Playing as a Buffalo.
And now just 4 points away from 1,000 for his career with Justin Strings at the free throw line for Sacramento State. Now, as we noted at the top, two of the big points of emphasis for Colorado coming into this game and the season. Defense, taking care of the basketball, and also rebounding. On those three fronts, what's your verdict so far?
I thought first half outstanding. Second half already 5 offensive rebounds for Sacramento State. That's not up to Coach Boyle's standards.
There is Collier sizing up the three, and he jars it.
A year ago, people were leaving Collier open, saying, hey, we're going to take away a whole lot of other things, but not you. You cannot do that anymore. He is money with the three ball.
He really changed his body over the summer, spent a lot of time in the weight room, had an excellent few months here on campus, and hoping it pays off this season. Strings, a lot of movement to that shot. Tipped around in the air, and the Buffaloes will come away.
Talked to Dom after practice yesterday. He said it's weird to be a junior. You got to grow up. My team needs me to be a leader. He is very motivated to do a great job this season.
Mr. Basketball in the state of Colorado for 2 years in a row. And look at that, on cue, he drains the three-point shots.
Felt like he needs to be more aggressive. He needs to be a better decision maker in the lane. But with the different combinations you can put on the floor, he can be a floor general or he can be a great shooter.
And now he leads all scorers with 12 points.
The three-point barrage continues.
Studeville trying to use that big body inside against Torrey Miller, and that time he draws the foul.
Nice three ball. But what keyed the whole thing? Ball comes into Torrey Miller inside, you kick it back outside. You are seeing the unselfishness of this team continue to grow here in the second half.
Tamazaki Yazili, his 4th personal for the Buffalo, so he's set to come out of the game. Studeville at the free throw line here. Dominic Collier, though, was the Gatorade High School Player of the Year in Colorado, his senior year, playing in Denver. And last year, 2nd in the Pac-12 Conference in three-point percentage at 44%, while leading the team in assists and steals. So valuable in so many respects to this Buffalo program. Studeville high arching free throw.
We can see where Coach Boyle's like the mad scientist this year. You want to go big, you want to go small, you want to post up your guards, you want to post up your bigs. The options on the offensive end are, when you got 10, 11 people who can play and score, exponential.
While it is only opening night, they have been impressive. And you look at the big picture now, and there are 4 nationally ranked teams picked ahead of them in the preseason poll. How do you think that this Colorado team, at least from what we've seen so far and what we know, is going to stack up against the best that the conference has to offer?
It's really too early to tell, but they've got a challenging preseason schedule to really figure out who they are. Play Seattle U, then you play University of Louisiana Monroe, and then you go to the big city. You go to Brooklyn and you play Notre Dame, and maybe you play Texas or Northwestern. And then number 7 ranked Xavier on December 7th. You'll have a real good idea about yourself in the middle of December.
That last foul on Josh Patton, his 3rd personal for the Hornets. Torrey Miller. Robust effort, but to no avail. As we drop under 14 minutes left to go here in the second half, and another foul against Sacramento State. So a lot of offensive infractions on this Hornet team here tonight. That's Josh Patton, and it's going to be number 4 on the freshman.
One of the things that doesn't show up on a stat sheet is hustling back on defense. Colorado has not allowed Sacramento State to really get out and run and get to the rim.
Haven't let them establish any kind of a rhythm offensively. 26-point lead for the Buffaloes. Seawarts, the freshman, buries the 3, and Colorado a perfect 4 of 4 from downtown here in this second half. They have been tremendous as Jeff Wu has it pop out on the other end, but Hornsby there to clean it up for Sacramento State.
Lucas Seawart's first basket as a college player. He's going to have a whole lot more, whether it's a trail 3, pick and pop.
A freshman from Brazil as Torrey Miller knocks that one off the glass and in. Went to high school in Los Angeles, was his school's all-time leading scorer. 2nd in scoring and 1st in rebounding his high school's entire league, but still making the transition here to basketball in the U.S. But a promising start on opening night. The entire Buffalo program off and rolling. The 2017 Pac-12 Men's Basketball Tournament presented by New York Life returns to Las Vegas March 8th through the 11th. Don't miss your opportunity to see it live at the brand new T-Mobile Arena. The Full Court Friday 4-pack gives fans exclusive access to 4 tickets for only $99. For more information or to secure your seats today, visit pac12.com/tickets.
Pretty exciting to be moving to a new arena.
And who will be the next tournament champion? Arizona leading the way with 5 all-time. Colorado with that one back in 2012. Do they have the team to contend for a second here this year? Off to a promising start. And really picking up where they left off last year in the way that they have played defense, the way they've rebounded, and the way they've scored. Especially from three-point range, they have been on fire. 11 of 15 from downtown.
And you talk about March and tournament time, to have so many options. It helps with injuries. The depth does. It helps with foul trouble because you've got different things you can go to.
Justin Strings hoisting it up as the shot clock buzzer went off. And White's in traffic. Gets it to fall. And he's got 9 points on the night. Almost 8 minutes gone by here in the second half, and Sacramento State not doing anything to cut into this sizable advantage for Colorado, one they built early in the first half of play. Shot clock now down to 7 with under 12 left to play. Hornsby, open look.
What did Coach say in the locker room before the game when we had a camera in there? Don't overthink the game. Go play hard and go have fun. This team is doing, check all those boxes. Mission accomplished. They are having fun and they are playing hard.
And Xavier Johnson lost it out of bounds, and they're going to call a foul here on the Hornets. That's Nick Hornsby with the foul, his 3rd personal in Colorado. Big lead on the Hornets. Our Tire Pros game summary, and all slanting in the direction of the Buffaloes.
That's a heavy slant. What a job by Colorado. Shooting the ball, defending. 4 for 4 so far in the second half, shooting threes.
11 of 15 from three-point range, and that's been accomplished through 7 different players. 7 different guys with a triple for the Buffs here tonight.
That will make for a tough scouting report for future opponents. And he shoots a three, and he shoots the three. Got to cover out, and everybody. It really will make it tough for people to decide what you're going to take away from Colorado.
That's where you need a big net to throw over the entire floor. And as Miller rolls it up, gets it to drop, and he'll head to the line to try and complete the three-point play.
And that shot right there might make Coach Boyle the happiest tonight. Torrey Miller took his time, read the defense, goes up strong with confidence, and gets the roll. And you see the reaction from the bench.
Jade Yabaja with his second personal foul. And so now Miller at the free throw line to try and complete the play. And Dressler, the rebound for Sacramento State. Now coming up on the final 11 minutes of regulation, Colorado leading 64-33. Steve Schlanger with Mary Murphy, opening night of the NCAA college basketball season. Full Court Friday here on the Pac-12 Network. One of 8 games tonight in the conference on the networks, and a foul underneath. And that's going to go against Derek White.
Coach Boyle wanted his team to have fun. We're having fun. I mean, what's not to love about a team getting up and down the floor, sharing the ball, shooting as well, playing defense, and the debut performance of Derek White, a Division II All-American, takes the step up, transfers to Colorado, sits out a year, and what a show he put on right before halftime.
And the substitution for Sacramento, Travis Jackson, coming back into the basketball game. Now we've discussed some of the issues that Colorado is facing coming into the season, some of the things Tad Boyle has been working on in practice and looking to implement here. One of the things he wants to see more from this year is point guard play, more from the point guard position. He has a lot of depth there, but doesn't really know what he's going to get. What do you think so far tonight?
I think what's impressed, I'm sure, him, his coaching staff, and this team and all the people in this arena is that they're sharing the basketball. Not one person has had to bring the ball up consistently. If you get a rebound and you're a ball handler, bring it up, run it, and then get into your sets. There's a lot of different people who can handle the ball, which means that from an opponent standpoint, there's not one thing that you can take away.
So that's now 4 personal fouls on Nick Hornsby. And Colorado already in the bonus here with still 10.5 left to go in the second half of play. And Torrey Miller at the free throw line here for the Buffs, leading by 30.
One message we have heard consistently is the importance of the development of Torrey Miller, 6'9", the junior out of Kansas City. With the departure of Josh Scott, that he needs to come in and give quality minutes. He needs to impose his will back to the basket. He's got a real pretty hook shot. He will sit down, and some very good minutes from the junior.
Meantime, for Sacramento State, Nick Hornsby has really been the only one producing here in the second half. Now for the game, has 12 points and 11 rebounds. The only player with a double-double so far here tonight.
Del Brown's going to be special. I mean, you saw him. He just came around. That mid-range game, he can go long distance. He can get to the rim as well.
7 points for Brown so far tonight.
Good length on the defensive end, and he's putting in the work.
Shot clock now at 4. Strings, and Graves has to toss it up. And the rebound to King. Midway through the second half of play, King going coast to coast, and it's blocked by Studeville, who led the conference in blocks per game a year ago in Big Sky play, has over 100 blocks for his career. Third most in Sacramento State program history. But hasn't really been that effective here tonight blocking shots, as King misses that one from outside.
Drive, and there's the block. And King just missed that 3, but what I love is he came right back to Derek White, who passed up a shot and passed it to him, gave him 5, and had a little conversation. That's great communication on the floor.
George King leading the Pac-12 last year in three-point percentage at 46%. He can obviously shoot. He can score. Team's leading returning scorer from last year as well. And now what head coach Tad Boyle says he has to do, the next step is making others around him better. Studeville gathers that one in for the Hornets. Pulls up with the shot clock expiring, and that is a shot clock violation with 9 minutes left to go.
Coach Boyle down the defensive stance on the sidelines. You'd think he was down 30.
Leading by 32 now.
It's a team that will have 3 games in 7 days before the trip to New York.
Now Seward, the freshman from Brazil, and he cans it from 3 along the baseline. Lucas Seward.
You can't leave him. He was out here early, and he was drilling shot after shot. Was sitting with a fan. I think we saw him miss 1 in about 20 minutes. He's for real.
Made some big strides here in just the last few weeks as Graves quickly scampers to the hole and lays that one up and in.
First time we've really seen him have a lane direct to the bucket.
Wesley Gordon been quiet here in the second half. Graves for Studeville, and he's going to be fouled by Josh Fortune. Now the Hornets typically have been at their best when they're running, but it's been rather inconsistent here tonight.
Nice dish. The trail was there. Good hustle by Sacramento State. There is no give up in this team. They are down big. And their road trip will continue. They move on to Nebraska after this game tonight.
3 personal fouls now on Josh Fortune for Colorado. They play at home next Thursday against Antelope Valley. Unlike Colorado, they did have an exhibition game a week ago. They beat Pacific Union by 31 points.
And in a really big game at the Golden One Arena, the new arena in Sacramento, home of the Sacramento Kings. They'll face off against UC Davis on the 21st of November.
Studeville out of hang time on those free throws, misses that one. Gordon on the spin, tip back up and in. Wesley Gordon now with 5 points.
Beautiful job of staying with a play.
Graves had it stolen. Fortune ahead in the open floor. Aka Yazili with the finish.
Love watching Thomas play. Doesn't have to have the ball in his hands to make things happen. Played for the Belgian U20 in the offseason. Their leading scorer.
He was playing Division I in Belgium at the age of 16.
How about that?
One of the things head coach Tad Boyle said was he's had a hard time adjusting as a foreigner. One of the difficult transitions to make into college basketball, but not so bad here in the opener tonight. This Pac-12 men's basketball game is brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. This Pac-12 men's basketball game is brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. With great beer comes great responsibility. And by Black Bear Diner, good old-fashioned family food. A 37-point lead for the Buffaloes on the Hornets here on the opening night of the college basketball season. 7.5 minutes left to play at the Coors Event Center. And we've talked about the 4 fifth-year seniors on this Colorado roster. They also have 1 fourth-year junior. But how about the freshmen as well as an upcoming recruiting class that will eventually make their way to Boulder? Once the veterans go away at the end of this season, the cupboard will not be dry. They are pretty much set up for the next several years.
They are. They're calling this the 16th best recruiting class. Evan Beatty, 6'8". Third best post out of California. Tyler Bay, 6'7", small forward out of Las Vegas, the third best small forward out of California. And Deshaun Schwartz, 6'6", swing out of Colorado Springs. All he does is score 20 points a game and 9 rebounds. Top player in Colorado. There's a lot to be excited about, not just for this year, but rolling forward for the Colorado Buffaloes.
Now the freshman we've seen tonight, Lucas Seward, hitting his first 3-point basket. Delion Brown has also played well, a freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
And you haven't seen Bryce Peters yet, but you will, and you're going to love him too.
Traveling violation on Wesley Gordon.
Talked about turnovers and how important that is this season to improve upon. 7 in the first half, now just 1 in the second half.
Under 7, left to play. Strings, sizing one up, gets it back. Now Hornsby, charging and laying it up and in. 3-point opportunity coming up for Nick Hornsby, who has been the most effective offensive player tonight for the Hornets here on the road.
It's been a block fest at times there by Fortune.
15 points, leading his club in scoring. Now make it 16 for the senior from Irvine, California. Was the leading rebounder for the team last year, 2nd in steals, 3rd in blocks. Very durable player, only missing 2 games over the course of his entire career. Gordon again in the paint. They've been going to him lately. Naka Yazili eyes up the 3 and misses. But here's Fortune off the offensive rebound. What a play! Highlight reel type of play from Josh Fortune, who's into double figures with 11 points.
Inside, outside, you miss the shot, you get the O board, and then a little bit of circus shots inside by Fortune.
Now Fortune, transfer from Providence. He's been very good, especially inside here tonight. Senior from Hampton, Virginia, 3rd in the team in scoring last year. Xavier Johnson on the fadeaway, and Graves runs the floor. Now Justin Strings. And out of bounds to the Buffaloes with 5.5 left to go.
Missed shot, chasing it down. Josh Fortune, and then just weave your way through the paint. Little double hitch inside. But just keep your eye on that backboard and make it happen. That is a spectacular shot.
Now the sophomore year at Providence, he started every game. Was 2nd on the team in assists and in 3-pointers for the team that won the Big East tournament that year. Before making the move out to Boulder here. Collier, quick 3. Graves splitting defenders, carving his way down the lane, and goes high off glass to score with 5 minutes left to go. 8 points now for Marcus Graves. Mentioned his dad spending a decade and a half as a coach in the NFL. His mom, also a Hall of Famer at Utah, where she was a pitcher on the softball team.
Just did a beautiful job of using that backboard and just finding some lanes. He is tough to just shut down for an entire game. He's a high motor player.
So one of the several Hornets who do have family connections to the Pac-12, and most of the players on the Sacramento State roster from the state of California. Only 3 players on the entire roster from outside of California. So they do pretty well recruiting in-state as they bring them all north to the capital. And we're now south of 5 minutes left to go in the opener. And Johnson was standing on the end line as he got that rebound. Now Colorado coming off a season where they finished 22-12 overall, 10-8 in Pac-12 play, and then lost to UConn in the first round of the NCAA tournament. They have been to the NCAA tournament for the last 5 seasons, but now expectations, Mary, are rising. The bar is moving higher. They don't just expect to go to the tournament. Now the anticipation is they'll go and advance.
That's exactly right, and it's just not about that first game. They want to win 1, they want to win 2, they want to get to that Sweet 16. Continue the progress, sustain success is what Coach Boyle calls it.
Now Studeville on the basket for Sacramento State with 4.5 left to go. Oh, nice behind the back pass from Thomas Akayazili to set that one up.
His quickness is improved, and his assist numbers tonight, very impressive.
Well, he led the Belgian junior national team in scoring, assists, and steals at the Under-20 European Championships not too long ago. Mentioned both him and Seawarts coming from different countries. Akayazili from Belgium, Seward from Brazil, making the transition to the U.S., playing basketball here. For those guys, Tad Boyle said, it takes longer than for some of the others. Not just coming to a new program, a different level of basketball, but just a new country, a new culture. So big transitions, but these guys are passing in a big way and scoring. 81-47. The lead 34 for the Buffaloes over the Hornets with 3:43 left to play. And now it's time for the Barbasol Close Shave Player of the Game, Dominic Collier of the Buffaloes.
What a great game, under control, in rhythm, knocking down shot after shot. People think of him as a point guard. He was a great shooting guard tonight. Any combination they put on the floor, inside, outside, knocking down shots. 4 of 6 from three-point range. Some beautiful passes as well. Very successful debut of your junior season. Dominique Collier.
Buffs high scorer with 12 points and one of 2 Colorado players in double figures. Josh Fortune the other with 11 points. But really the story for them has been the balanced scoring, as 10 different players or on the score sheet here tonight for the home team.
And the number of assists, how the ball has moved from inside, outside. The post passing has been very solid.
Now this one was close up until about the 3-minute mark into the first half. It was tied at 6, and then Colorado went on an 18-1 run, and they have not looked back. Just north of 3 minutes left to go, and shot clock now at 10 as Jacobs is pounded. No call.
How about the challenge by Torrey Miller? Talk about going vertical.
Here's the freshman Seward. And King is going to be fouled by Shabizi Jacobs. And that'll be his first.
Steve, what's really been impressive is we haven't seen anyone for Colorado really hold the ball for more than 1,001, 1,002. Then the ball moves. And the coaching staff has really stressed that, and they've embraced that. No one's trying to go one-on-one, one-on-two. They're just looking for the open shot, the open person coming off a screen, and they've done a great job of moving the basketball, moving their bodies, and finding open shots and knocking them down.
And they've continued to play with that pace and with that mindset, even though this game has been one-sided most of the way. I mean, let's face it, it was really never in doubt. Once they grabbed command of this game, it's been a sizable lead. You never felt like the Hornets really had a path back into it, so they have not taken their foot off the gas.
No, and that's as impressive to a coach as getting that lead and how they got the lead, maintaining it, maintaining your focus. It's one of the things this team has really been talked to from their coaching staff, and that is consistency. Get to a great level and stay there, maintain it.
Jacobs ducks in, and with the shot clock about to expire, hits it off glass and in. Torrey Miller back the other way, double team. And he's headed to the line to shoot 2. .34-point lead for the Buffaloes. Jacobs, his second personal foul. And Saturday, it's a football doubleheader on Pac-12 Network. First at 1, Christian McCaffrey and the Cardinal take on Rolls-Royce and the Ducks. Then at 6, the Dam meets the Den as Oregon State battles UCLA. Coverage begins Saturday at noon on Pac-12 Network or watch on the Pac-12 Now app.
And we're talking football. How about Colorado? Moved up 5 spots this week after beating UCLA 20-10 on Thursday. Number 16 in the country. Their highest ranking since December of 2002.
And the Buffalo basketball program just trying to keep pace here on opening night because the football program has been leading the way this fall. So given the potential for what the Buffaloes have on their basketball roster this year, what we've seen in this game so far tonight, could be quite the year, football and basketball in Boulder, Colorado. That'll be stolen by Jacobs. Ahead to Ubaja. He'll take it all the way in. On the miss, it's tipped back up and in by James Herrick, the junior from Minden, Nevada.
Mitch Lombard on the floor, the sophomore, 6 foot, out of Castle Pines, Colorado.
Oh, scooped up and in. DeLeon Brown, maybe the most athletic move of the night by the 6'4" freshman. He's got 9 points now.
Nice debut, wouldn't you say?
Showing some confidence, too. He's a wide receiver for his high school football team. And now coming up on the final minutes of regulation. Now the way the Buffaloes have really kept their focus despite the one-sided nature of this game will not only please head coach Tad Boyle, but as Seward hits his second three-point basket here, but it also shows that they have the right mindset in the sense that there's still always something to be gained out of a game, even though it may be well in hand. And especially the first game, when all you had is practice up until this point, it's still a game, it's still a matchup, there's still something you can get out of it. As Jeff Wu misses here. And now 13 3-point field goals made by Colorado here tonight, tying a school record. Set back in January against Stanford. But what a exclamation points by the freshman Seward with the three-pointer, his second of the game, 13th by the team to help close it out.
This crowd rises. There's a lot to be excited about in Boulder.
The final margin is 37 points, 90-53. The Buffaloes beat the Hornets on opening night here in Boulder.
It was a team effort. There wasn't one player that stood out. It was the team that stood out. Defensively, rebounding, passing the ball, getting each other involved, playing for each other. Great enthusiasm in the building, a brand new floor here, and they celebrated with a great big victory.
Head coach Tad Boyle in his 7th year, off to a promising start, shaking the hands of the Sacramento State players. He said, as a program, as a team,